This video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Behind the Couch. Today we are going to be reviewing one of the hottest LEGO Star Wars sets to come out in 2022, the LEGO ATTE. Now this set has been something that I've wanted as a kid for a very long time. This is, I believe, our 4th or 5th iteration of the set, and this is heavily featuring the 212th Attack Battalion. So starting off with this little dude right here, this is one of the minifigures that comes with it. He is one of the tank drivers. He is sitting on top of the cannon, which swivels side to side, and then the cannon can then be tilted up to get some really cool shots. So pew 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 pew. We have some stud finders in here, which I'm not going to shoot it off right now just because I don't want to go looking for the pieces, but that is one part of the tank. And in here I have one of my old classic LEGO pilot characters in here. This part right here pulls out to reveal the little seat where our little guy is. Now, this is one of my original figures from the Revenge of the Sith sets back in 2005, 2006. I just figured it'd be really cool to have him as a pilot in here. I love incorporating my old stuff because one of the coolest things is that LEGO always intends to make their stuff backwards compatible. So all my LEGO Star Wars sets from 2005 also show up here, or can be used over here, I should say. When we open up the inside, we have, and it looks like part of my thing decided to come out here. We have a little seat to be able to fit your two characters, and you can plop them down in here. Nice troop carrying action, pretty freaking cool in my opinion. And then they fold right back up. Got a handle right here in the back so that way we can lift it and move it. Over back here, you can, whoops. So as you can see, that's probably one of the little, LEGO contention points. This panel disconnects from these hinges right here, slides down, and then you can open it up and then fold everything out, revealing everything on the inside. So here's some more areas where you can put your troopers. And even, there goes the cannon again. Even though this set only comes with, I believe, 5 clone troopers, it can fit 9. So it can, if you already have any clone troopers or have any custom LEGO troopers, you're able to add them in and add it to the scene, add it to the scene and all of that. I personally like having them outside of the tank only because then it makes my armies just look that much bigger. I love making like scale war battles and stuff. The other cool feature about this set, which is pretty dope in my opinion, you can actually take it and flip it on its back, boom, and it stays up. And the legs actually down here, if you take a look, form and let it sit there. I think that's really cool. I don't know if any of the original ones did that, but it definitely reminds me of the scene in Star Wars Rebels when Rex and his crew take their ATTE and they make it stand up on its hind legs and push the walker back, the Imperial walkers back. One of my favorite scenes. So those are pretty much all of the main panels and interior of the tank. The legs swivel right here. You get a nice range of motion. I don't know entirely how much motion we can get out of it for those of you in the stop motion community, but hopefully enough motion to be able to get some really cool tanks. Definitely some. I think you can make it work. Keep the filmmaking going. All in all, yeah, I totally really loved building. I really like building this set. As you can see, I think my biggest point is literally these back turrets. They love to fall off for me, but that's alright. The LEGO, you can put it back together. I think this is a wonderful play set for all of them kids out there as well as adults. There's definitely, Dad's gonna have to help put this together. A lot more Dad, I should say. There's a lot of Technic pieces going on to make this work. Now the ATTE is pretty cool, making its first appearance back in 2002 in this movie, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, which this year, by the way, is its 20th anniversary. It's had a lot of really cool moments, especially in Star Wars The Clone Wars. I think my favorite moment with this tank, personally, is in the episode called Cut and Run, where Obi-Wan is chasing Grievous down on Seleucami. Grievous' ship crash lands. Obi-Wan takes what he can of the 501st to go down on Seleucami to go chase him and capture him. There's a droid who shoots off a rocket launcher across the hills. One of the clones sees it, calls it out, something on your port side, and the gunner takes the cannon, points it over to their port side, angles it up, shoots the rocket in midair. It is one of the coolest shots ever. I think it's dope as shit. That's probably my favorite moment about this set. Now, I think going forward, let me take a look and see. There were 4 LEGO ATTE sets that have come across all this, that have spanned the generations of LEGO. The first one being in 2003. It was really low to the ground, and then you had 2 more iterations after that, but only 2 of those ATTEs out of the 4 came with only just clone troopers. And I have to explain that because even though, like, I'm a huge fan of all the different LEGO characters and in Star Wars, I'm really glad that this came with so many clones because I love building armies. I think that is my favorite thing out of LEGO Star Wars is building my armies and building my my Navy, my Republic Navy especially. Big fan of that. One of the cool things about this does come with the 212, which I will go over pretty soon, my collection of characters. Hell, I actually might just do that right now. So out of some of the details that I like about the ship and how it's designed and how it looks, it has that classic gray and red Republic tank, which is really nice because certain tanks did have different colors and variations depending on what garrison they were in or what planet they were outfitted for. So what makes the classic red and gray great is that if you're going to get this ATTE, you can incorporate it in whichever army you want. 501st, 212th, 41st Recon, it will fit. So I think that's a really nice bit. I like the basic tonality of that. It has a lot of studs that are exposed too, so if you really wanted to, you can take it and you can add your own and swap out the colors with whatever you want and create the different variations for your army with I think with like very little effort for you army builders out there. I think it's really cool. I do like the stickers on it. I really like how they use the ball turrets, the gears for the ankle bits. I think that was really nice. All in all, I think this is just a really good build. It's actually really sturdy, and I can't tell you how much I love a walker that just stays up. It's really nice. As a person who owns an Imperial walker and that thing likes to fall over, I'm so glad I have a walker where I could literally even flip it on its back and not even have to worry about it. I could walk away from this and go get my minifigures right now and it won't fall over. Watch. Haha, see, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? I was able to stand on its back like that the entire time. That's pretty freaking gnarly, if you ask me. So anyway, now I want to show you the minifigures, not only the ones that came with the set, but the ones that I own personally that I think add to the set. So the set comes with 3 Grunt 212th Troopers, Commander Cody, and a tank operator, which is really, really cool. I do love the 212th, especially in the Clone Wars. I love my orange and yellow boys. They deserve a little, I feel like they deserve more attention, and I would love for a 212 battle pack if LEGO ever did one. If you guys do, please call me immediately. You know, just send me a transmission, something. One of the things that I have found that people do talk about, it is a massive thing that people don't like, although I don't think it's that bad. A lot of people will complain about the holes on the side of the Clone Trooper helmet. As a person who dresses as a clone, do I agree the holes are in the wrong spot? Yes. Do I understand that if they put them in that particular spot for the Commander Cody helmet, could they in turn, would the visor not work? Yes. I don't think the holes are as distracting as some people would believe. Number one, the clones have always have had different attachments. But to say that these clones couldn't make use of these extra accessories is beyond. Number one, if you really, I honestly, and this is something that I recommend as a LEGO collector, I would look at some of the custom accessories people make for these different clones and LEGO characters in general, because honestly, some of what people have done with resin 3D printers and molds and just straight up ingenuity is pretty cool, and you should support those people. I think those things can enhance your LEGO sets as well as your minifigs. Especially like if you've run low on blasters, there are people on Etsy who have made custom actual like clone trooper looking blasters for your LEGO characters. I totally recommend checking those out. I don't think the holes are nearly as bad as people say they are. As the figures that I have that I use to enhance this set when I create my little large battle on the table, which isn't very detailed. I am still learning the mock stuff. Part of it is I don't have space and I have to build something on top of that table anyway. I have 2 just all white, classic Phase 2 clone troopers. I think those add on because when you think about it, you have your troopers that have painted their armor, they've been there for a while, but of course you get that fresh batch of shinies, and they haven't been able to get that bucket paint yet. So obviously you got your grunts in there, and that kind of helps kind of, you know, fluff it out a little bit. My classic clone trooper pilot is inside the tank as we speak, as I showed you earlier. And I have a little Phase 2 clone commander, yellow clone commander. And I've had him for a very, very long time. Now, for the reason I put him in here, even though he's more yellow than orange, in Star Wars The Complete Saga, Commander Cody was this clone trooper captain with a little orange pauldron. There was never an official Phase 2 Commander Cody set, which is why, or I'm sorry, minifigure, which is why this set is so important. I know people talk about the visor and how it's kind of derpy. It wasn't made to be intended to use for clones this far out because we've had this piece in 2008, but you don't like it, I recommend looking at some, again, those clone trooper custom accessories. The orange airborne trooper that came from the General Grievous set, although I didn't get him from the set, I tend to go to different conventions and I will buy custom Lego and minifigures at different booths, and just to expand my clone armies. And usually I get a discount because I am a clone trooper. We have a clone officer that I pretty much built myself since the Republic and Imperial uniforms are pretty much the same thing. I had an extra Imperial officer where I was tired of seeing the same face over and over again, so I swapped him out with one of the old clone trooper heads from the original Clone Wars sets, and gave him his little Imperial hat. Now I have a Clone Republic officer with a little walkie-talkie. So I have a custom minifigure of a clone trooper named Waxer. Now, he wasn't there at the Battle of Umbara. He unfortunately didn't make it to that battle, but he, it was definitely something where, even if I'll admit the helmet's a little derpy. Found him at a con. I saw that they at least included the little decal of the Twilight girl Luma. I think the only thing I'm like, you know, obviously iffy about is the price point, but hey, I'm not complaining. I think this is worth every penny. I would say try to get it while supplies last. It is a good thing to add to your collection. It's now time for the controversial part of the video. I wouldn't say controversial, but I would say this is one of those things where I think this is just a me thing. One of the things that I found at Star Wars Celebration, same place I got this shirt, and I will at some point make a video talking about my time at Celebration and my experience there, but we found this gem of a Lego set at Celebration. I went and picked up the wheel bike set, and the reason why I'm showing you this is because it's in theme with the box art to the Lego ATTE being on the Battle of Utapau. So I figured, hey, this is a good set to open up with it. This set was sealed from 2005 up until earlier this morning. It came with Obi-Wan Kenobi, it came with General Grievous, and one of the reasons why I like hunting down these old sets is because these were the sets that the Lego Star Wars video games were based off of. Complete Saga, the original video game, and the original Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. These were the sets everything were based off of. So they hold a very special place in my heart, solely just because they were in the video game. The first thing you build in the manual is the lizard. Now, he's not just one like mold piece. Actually, looking at this lizard head, it reminds me of Buckbeak from Harry Potter, and I wouldn't be surprised if they used that same one for a brick-built Buckbeak at some point. I don't think they ever did that. He's got a full range of motion with his head. Not really much going down because he does have these rubber pieces that the reins per se, but he can kind of rotate his head. The hinge kind of comes out a little bit, but it is a lot of fun. I think I just snapped part of that off of there. And then you got your classic Obi-Wan Kenobi with the 2 black dots for eyes, similar to Pop's, and his classic like reddish brown hair and beard. Over here you have the original General Grievous, whose droid arms were the exact same as the battle droids, as well as his legs, who had a custom head and body mold, and then his own custom cape, and his wheel bike, which uses kind of these bionicle like ball point, not ball point, but ball, ooh, there goes Grievous. Ball hinge pieces. His legs fold out and rotate to create the walker that it is. It's got his little turbo cannons right here on the side. Pew, pew, pew. And then this does actually spin, which is pretty damn dope in my opinion. He doesn't really sit in there via stud. He actually isn't supposed to be holding his lightsabers. I just don't want to take them off of him right now. But this piece kind of goes right here and locks him in place and keeps him in the wheel bike. I'm glad I picked up this set. I took it out of the box, which a lot of people probably won't agree with me with, but here's my stance on it. Legos are meant to be played with, as well as most toys. I do understand the wanting to preserve that toy and the detail. Toy collecting and hunting is its own sport at this point. For me personally, I would rather have my Legos on display with the rest of my troops. Dream would be to build out every scene from Star Wars on floating shelves and use the different minifigures in the different scenes. And that not only shows you the history of Star Wars and the different scenes involving that, but you can see the history of the minifigures and the sets as they could progress. I will be unboxing any Lego set I can get my hands on. I want to build it, I want to play with it, I want to get my family involved. Like, that's a whole thing on why I unbox these things. But I do try to keep the boxes nice, and some box art I really do want to keep and cut the panels out and frame them. I want to preserve them as much as I can. If you're interested in watching me make custom Star Wars frames that are based off the Death Star walls that are RGB and Amazon Alexa compatible, like and subscribe, and I'll try to get you that video. Hopefully one pretty soon. It won't be a frame, but we'll definitely be Star Warsing my room a little bit. But yeah, it was a really cool blast of the past to build this set. I definitely felt like a kid again, and it in combination with the Lego ATTE and the 212, definitely feel like Order 66 is about to be called, so I really enjoyed that. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, haven't already, go check out our Discord server. The link is in the description. We're trying to get to 1,000 people in our Discord server, so please go ahead and join us. We have a whole Lego chat just for people to show off their builds and collections, so please share with us all of your cool toys, and we'll show you some of ours too. We'll see you guys next week, where I don't even know yet. Yeah, just join us next week. I don't know what